This is a story of Arthur Hayes. At 35 years of age, he is a black crypto billionaire. I said a black crypto billionaire, Arthur Hayes. Yet, the United States government is dogging him, trying to intimidate him, want to bring him down. And this is racism at its worst, or best, whichever way you want to look at it. They're accusing him of not making the effort to make it hard for money to be laundered, to curtail money being laundered in his business. They did not say money is being laundered. They say he's not taking procedure to make it hard for someone to use his company to launder money. Now his company's making billions a day. And he stepped down from being CEO of the company this year in 2020. But he's still getting paid. He's living someplace in Asia, I think Hong Kong. Now the background of Arthur Hayes. He was born in Detroit, Michigan. His parents, seeing the potential in him, wanted him to have a better education, go to better school. So they moved to Buffalo, where he could enter a school, I think the Nichols School or something like that. Nichols School, Nichol. And he worked for the Citigroup in Asia. He left that and started his own crypto business. And at 35 now, mind you, he is a crypto billionaire. Now he is slated to go to court in Manhattan in March of 2022, where he is facing possibly jail time. Most companies are being fined for that so-called offense. Now they also tried to put the brakes on Robert F. Smith, the financial billionaire, multi-billionaire. And he had to pay a fine for some bogus charge. Really, it could trump up any charge. They're trying to curtail the black billionaires. And just like Robert F. Smith, he had a low profile. Hardly anybody heard about him until recently, especially when he gave over $50,000, I think, to Morehouse, $49 or $50 million, that is, to relieve the graduating student in Morehouse of their student debt. He paid off all of their student debt. He was the commencement speaker, and he surprised them with that. I think that was a couple of years ago. Otherwise, he was low, and same as Arthur Hayes. He's low profile. Many people do not know of him, especially at age. They keep on mentioning his age, 35. If he keep on going, he would be one of the richest. He is already one of the richest men in the world. But he would be up there at the top with Elon Musk and Bezos and those people. He'll be up there with them. At the speed he's making money, hand over fist. But hopefully, in March the 2022, he will face in Manhattan court, and the DA there is a black man. Seemed to be a forward-thinking black man. A black man that's unafraid. I can't recall his name now, but the DA. I didn't do any research on his name. I used to know it, but the DA, the uncommon DA, the first foundational black American, the first black man really, or foundational black American to become a Manhattan DA, which is one of the most powerful, not in the world, but the most powerful DA in the United States of America. So being fear-minded, he will get a fear. Maybe the case should be actually removed, or maybe fine is levied against his company for some bogus charge like that. Not protecting his company against money laundering. So you have to make procedures. Put procedures in place so that it would be hard or difficult or impossible for money to be laundered through his company. And so at 35, that doesn't stop him. But it's basically where they try, it's a clear thing where they're trying to keep black people down. And he didn't make any error or mistake or offense. But they could trump some kind of charge against him. That's Arthur Hayes. And other people are soon to be billionaires like Byron Allen. Well, it's interesting because a lot of time black people are helped by white people. At the same time, they try to hinder them. A lot of people white people helped Byron Allen. And I think they say he's worth about $600 million. And his intention is to be the owner of the biggest media company in the world, if not the world, in the United States, and possibly the world. And he's well on his way. He have over 24 TV stations. I guess he learned a lot of things on how to maneuver by the late Reginald Lewis, who was one of the first, really the first black billionaires, even though he's not credited of being so. The late Reginald Lewis. Yeah, but a lot of things going on. And of course, Tyler Perry already has the biggest studio in the world, movie studio. He achieved that. He had to achieve it, actually in place now for some years now. He's known to have the biggest studio in the world, in America anyway, and I believe in the world. So black people are making progress. As quiet as it's kept. Especially foundational black Americans. Well, if we keep on rising, no matter how they try to keep us down. Especially the young people. And in Atlanta, you could hear that half of Atlanta, that's what the mayor, female mayor who's going out, I don't forget her name, Bottoms, Keisha Bottoms, said that half black people like T.I. and Killer Mike and Yeezy owns half of Atlanta. I don't know if that's true. That's a little exaggeration, I guess. But they are buying her property. They may start in music, but their greatness now is in business. And they own a great much property in the Atlanta area. That's T.I., Yeezy, and Killer Mike. And Killer Mike have a lot of partnerships. But Brian Allen is not doing the solo, but his name is on everything. He's the CEO. Tyler Perry named his studio out of himself. He's the sole owner. And Arthur Hayes, like I guess dude has heard about him, except in the financial world he's well known. But the general public probably do not even know who he is. Arthur Hayes, look him up. As one of the first black crypto billionaire that's being dogged unjustly. They try to keep you down. It ain't easy. Of course, he was working with partnership with some other people too, but he was the CEO. And I think a lot of his company idea was his. And don't think that is, and that's such a, that I keep on mentioning the age. At such a young age. Just a young age. Because Robert F. Smith is comparatively young also. He's in his 50s now. In this era, marrying that white woman, perhaps, who knows, perhaps if he didn't marry that white woman, they would dog him even more. They would be on him even more. Maybe, I don't know. That's just an idea. So just be prepared. But you see, as black people rising up financially, white people dying. The former Miss America, she died, Miss American runner-up, just died at the age of 59, which is young, of COVID. And you know the Chinese put COVID to the white people to wipe them out. The four countries, they have the most COVID cases are America, a de facto Caucasian country, really. America, the so-called United Kingdom, France, and Spain. As of today, January the 1st, 2022, those are the countries that had the most cases and the most death from this COVID. And they tried to put a black face on, but how could they? under the circumstances, facing reality. It's wiping Caucasian out. That's why we have to separate from them. To not be partners with their sin. But at the same time, black people moving up, making bold movements. Now, the mayor of New York, who was black, Eric Adams, is making a brave, bold movement so far, seemed to be a strong, mental, spiritual. Where he picked a black female as the chief of police, making her one of the head of police, making one of the most powerful in the world, the United States for sure, with about 35,000 patrolmen or police officers. And usually I would like to see the man in that particular, a black man in that particular role, but in this case, it worked. And the women, a lot of the women in high position like that have a managed attitude. This is strange. So we might as well just pick the man. Then they have a kind of a managed attitude, almost brutish. And he picked a blackish man who's as the head of education. This is also the most powerful educational system in the world, especially in the United States anyway. And he's proud of his heritage, the man who he picked, or educational, head of education. And then after that, he picked two Hispanic, but being fair, there's a lot of Hispanics in New York, so he picked head of transportation and the head of correction department. Both were Hispanics, seem to be. So he's making bold moves. And he also went to Ghana. Recently, he wanted to go to Ghana after he won his election. And he came back, went to Ghana, where his forefathers were sold into slavery. Went back and came back as the mayor of the most powerful city in the world. So there's method to his madness. There's method, and he come out swinging strong. Hope he continued with that strength. And it say the Manhattan DA is also black, who seemed to be a proud man, black man. Seemed to be, for what he's unafraid. So there's a new type of black leadership coming into the world, judging from New York. Of course, he got his hands cut out for, his work cut out for him with the COVID and that's hitting New York, and the crime, high crime. And he even got the mayor of Atlanta. It's a black man, but I don't know too much about him. Of course, I don't like the idea of him having an inauguration in a PWI that he went to. I believe it's the PWI that he went to. It's not a good footing with me. He didn't come out real strong so far. Now like Caucasian Reed, who had money pulled into Atlanta. Really, it was uplifted, Caucasian Reed. But anyway, to sum it all up, they ended all up with a topic about Arthur Hayes, the 35-year-old black crypto billionaire who's facing Trump-up charges, Caucasian trying to keep him down because they say he is not using procedures to prevent money laundering in his company. Not that he did anything wrong or there was money laundering. So we should see what will go on